They've been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt and got the trophies as well. Winners of the last two European Championships in 2008 and 2012. Their last defeat in a European Championship, you have to go back to 2004 in the group stages when they lost 1-0 to Portugal. The two sets of players just shaking hands as they cross the halfway line. The Turkish players in light blue tracksuit tops, they will just remove those to reveal white shirts underneath, black shorts and red socks, and Spain in the familiar bright red shirts, blue shorts and black socks. And just as the camera, Danny, panned down the faces of those Spanish internationals, not only the talent but the experience of this team. 4 centurions in there in terms of caps. Iniesta we've talked about, Fabregas winning his 108th cap tonight, David Silva his 101st, and Sergio Ramos his 133rd cap, and that counts for one heck of a lot.
It's unbelievable. You know, experience, you do need it in a tournament like this to get you through those difficult games. Quite oddly, when you look at the Spanish side, that the least inexperienced players are in attack. You know, they have a fantastic midfield, very, very good defence, a youngish goalkeeper, but again, with an awful lot of experience. But Spain have seen before, no real genuine centre forward at times.
Funny enough, you and I were talking earlier on today about England and the strikers in their squad. What some of these countries would possibly give for some of our strikers. I'm thinking Germany, who have Goetze up front, Spain here. I mean, Italy have Graziano Pella. I don't want to be rude to him, but I imagine Italy might fancy Harry Kane or Daniel Sturridge or someone like that.
But what those other countries do, they adapt and they build around it and they make everything else stronger. If you took all those players out of the England side, that would be a worry.
Well, this time last week, exactly this time last week, Danny Mills was sitting in the Stade de France alongside Thierry Henry ahead of the opening game of Euro 2016. A week in, France are through to the last 16, Italy are through to the last 16 after their 1-0 win over Sweden today, and Spain can join them as well, the European champions, with a win that would take them to 6 points. Croatia topping the group at the moment with 4 points after the 2-2 draw against the Czech Republic, but we're just going to have to wait and see what UEFA decide to do about the dreadful and disturbing scenes in the last 15 minutes of that game when flares were thrown onto the pitch and fighting broke out in the stands. It affected Croatia's team badly. They conceded a goal. They were dominating. They were 2-0 up. They have drawn 2-2 today. We are underway in Nice. Spain against Turkey in Group D. I think I'm right in saying as well, Danny, apart from that opening game, this is your second time in a stadium at the Euro, so you'll be absolutely chomping at the bit here.
Oh, definitely. And I'm really pleased to say that the stadium has filled up quite a lot. It's probably about 3/4 full now. You know, there's still a lot of empty seats around, which is a little bit disappointing. I think this is the second of 4 games here at the Stade de Nice. You know, fantastic team. Yep. Luckily, the sun was shining all day today. It's been a beautiful day. And sometimes, you know, just watching Spain, I think it's a little bit like watching the Italians sometimes. They're just fascinating.
Well, they're giving the ball away, Ramos, early on, and he's charged into Burak, and Burak immediately is saying send him off, or at least give him a yellow card. Ramos has been given a yellow card. The challenge was made 10 yards inside the Spanish half. Burak was getting away from Ramos. He still had a heck of a lot to do, and he's certainly not Jamie Vardy in the speed department. Ramos is booked early on. He's got to be careful for the rest of the game. Spain 0, Turkey 0.
Sloppy, loose touch, don't expect that from the likes of Sergio Ramos, and that allowed Burak to get in, and well, we've seen Ramos do that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cynical foul, brought him down 10 yards into the half. Correct decision from the referee.
Yeah, it was an absolute classic of its kind late in the Champions League final against Atletico Madrid. Selçuk floats the free kick into the edge of the area. It's flicked on by Hakan Balta, the centre-back, behind for a goal kick. Here are the two team lineups. BBC Radio 5 Live in Nice this evening, your third commentary of the day. Spain 0, Turkey 0. David De Gea in goal for Spain. Juan Fran, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Ramos on the yellow card, and Jordi Alba at left back. Busquets in front of the back four. Fabregas, Iniesta, David Silva, Nolito, and Alvaro Morata, the number 7, the Juventus striker, continuing up front for Spain. Not a bad starting 11, and plenty of talent on the bench as well. Turkey have Volkan Babacan in goal. Their right back is Gökhan Gönül. Centre backs Mehmet Topal and Hakan Balta. Caner Erkin is the left back. Midfield 3, Ozan Tufan, Selçuk Inan and Ojan Ozyakup, former Arsenal player who only made a couple of first-team appearances for the club. Hakan Çalhanoğlu on the right-hand side of midfield, Arda Turan of Barcelona, the captain, and Burak, who's come into the starting lineup up front. Gerard Piqué on the ball for Spain, very casually strolling forward inside his own half. Turkey will hang off Spain here until they cross the halfway line. Alba does that, slides the pass down the left-hand side. Morata comes wide, challenges from Mehmet, the centre-back. Spain win the throw, and Iniesta plays it infield to Busquets in bright yellow and orange boots. Spain 0, Turkey 0. What is Spain going to treat us to this evening? Can Turkey spring the surprise? David Silva on the dribble, wins the deflection and wins Spain's first corner. Danny Mills.
Well, I think what you have to remember is Spain don't play like Barcelona. They can play direct at times. The centre-backs will hit diagonal balls out to the wide areas. They will try and break at pace at times. They don't do it through the middle, but they try and stretch the game width-wise as much as they possibly can.
Corner's taken short to David Silva. Nolito runs ahead of him. Silva curls in across to the far post. It's well headed away by Ozan Tufan. Jordi Alba on the ball 35 yards from goal, decides to pass backwards to his fellow fullback Juan Fran. Here's Iniesta with the right-footed diagonal towards Ramos. Awkward one for Ramos, couldn't control it. Arda Turan just slipped there, might lose possession here. Goes in hard on Busquets. Busquets goes flying. Play continues. Ramos didn't like a challenge in there. He has a little word. Spain still have the ball. Spain 0, Turkey 0. And the sylph-like figure of David Silva just caresses a left-footed pass away to the left-hand side. Here's Silva on the ball again. Plays it wide left. First time pass is not a good one, and straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Volkan. Just checked before the game, Danny, as I was telling you. I had a good chat to a Turkish commentator just to check how to say these names correctly. And when you're using one name, you use the first name rather than the surname as we would do. But he was absolutely insistent when I was talking to him before the game that I got them spot on. So when I asked him about Emre Mor, I said, oh yeah, no, Emre Mor. And he went, no, it's Emre Mor. And we had to have about 5 goes at that. And it was the same for every single player. So it took a while, but he was keen that we get it right tonight on 5 Live.
But I think equally he called the manager farty. But I think we're going to give that one a miss this evening.
Yes, we're going to call him Fatih Terim, which is slightly better than what Danny just said, and we'll leave it there. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Ramos in the left back position, and he's fouled. A couple of tasty challenges coming in early on. Advantages played, and Spain are giving the ball away. Selçuk gives it to Arda Turan, the Turkish captain, who took heavy criticism for his performance in the first game. The left back is Caner. Caner plays back into midfield. Floated ball from Ozan Tufan. That is intercepted easily by Jordi Alba. Up to Nolito. Nolito's first time ball finds Morata just inside the Turkish half. Just over 5 minutes played in Nice. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Iniesta. Cushioned little first time pass to Busquets. Immediately ships it on to Fabregas, onto Morata. Morata just gets the ball caught under his feet. Battles to win it well. Hits the first time shot. Volkan gets down and saves and palms it behind for the corner.
It's a really fast, intensive start, especially by Spain this game. Looks like they want to go and win this game in the first half, and then they can relax.
Win for Spain takes them through to the last 16 and will put Turkey in big trouble as well, having lost their first game. And immediately we have a Turkish player down, and it's the centre-back Mehmet, who is just stretching out his left hamstring. That is a concern. Turkey coming to the championships without one of their first choice centre-backs in Serdar Aziz. They don't want to lose Mehmet as well. He seems to be okay. Spain have a corner. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Danny Mills watching with us in Nice. Corner is flat into the near post. Not a good header away. Piqué couldn't control it. If he could have done, he might have been able to get a shot away, but Piqué nicks in and wins a header. Caner with a couple of keepy-ups and then an overhead flick. Good clearance. Turkey bringing the ball away down the left-hand side. Arda Turan plays it up the left here. Selçuk trying to slide the pass in for Burak. He's all over Jordi Alba, pulls him back, and Spain get themselves the free kick. 0-0.
Really clever defending from Jordi Alba. Knew that there was a threat going forward. Just put himself in between Burak and the ball. And as soon as he put his hand on him, his arms went up, his knees collapsed, he went down and gave the referee no chance, had to give the foul.
Ramos, Spain at walking pace at the moment, just waiting to pick the pace up and try and build one of those deadly moves. Fabregas, first time ball back to Piqué, who scored the 87th minute winner in their first game against the Czech Republic. David Silva on the move, diagonal run from right to left, rolls the pass to Iniesta lays it off to Busquets and jogs away. Iniesta back in the action again, 40 yards from goal in the middle of the Turkey half, lays it off to Piqué on the halfway line. Turkey with everyone behind the ball, and Busquets floats a pass out to the left hand side. Alba with the low ball towards Morata, cleared away by Mehmet. The ball spins high in the air, clever volleyed pass out of defence towards Burak, who's a big, powerful, well-built striker. He has scored 20 international goals, has come into the Turkey side tonight, having not started the first game against Croatia. Oh wow, he put a left hand out there to try and hold off Busquets. Busquets did take one in the face, and he's gone down rolling around. Yellow card for Burak. Danny, it was accidental, wasn't it? He wasn't trying to whack him in the face, he was trying to hold the player off, but he caught him.
It was a hand towards the face. The referee came over very, very quickly with a smile on his face. In fact, he puts his arm out and he catches him on the chest. Busquets goes down like he's taken a right-hander from Mike Tyson on the chin. But we've seen that before, and that's not right. Come on, took him in the chest, okay, maybe go down, but don't go down holding your face. That's bang out of order. 9
minutes in Nice. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Fabregas, yellow boot on right foot, reddish orangey boot on left foot. Moves into a little pocket of space here, asks for it from Iniesta. Iniesta chooses Ramos, the captain, instead. He plays it wide to Jordi Alba, to Nolito, back to Sergio Ramos. Probably been 100 Spain passes already, something like that. Turkey have probably strung together about 5 or 6. It's what we're so used to seeing. Fabregas to Ramos, to Nolito, lays it back to Ramos, looks up, tries to lengthen play, stretch it to the right, overhits the pass, and it goes straight out for a throw. Spain 0, Turkey 0. We played 10 minutes.
Turkey have settled into a 4-5-1 formation. You know, at times when they've had a couple of opportunities to break away already, they look like they can be dangerous in the midfield area. When they get in the final third, looks like they run out of ideas, don't quite know what to do with the ball, don't know where to pass it, don't know where to make the run. So you just expect Spain now to dominate possession, and it'll just be wave after wave of attack, and you probably feel it's going to be a case of when Spain score, not if.
Fabregas on the charge in the penalty area, 2 Turkish defenders closing down. They dealt with it well, floated ball out of defence, is headed sideways by Juan Fran, and at the moment it's that attack versus defence, because Turkey can't get out of their own half. Iniesta floats a pass to the left-hand side, lovely overlapping run from Jordi Alba, cross in, and Morata with a right-footed stab towards goal, took a deflection behind for a corner.
Fabulous ball in. Hakan Balta got across the near post and just managed to get his left foot on it to stop. Well, I think Morata had just missed it actually. The defender was fortunate not to put it into his own net, but he had no choice. The ball was so good. Inbound, his great little move down that left-hand side, whipped in, such pace.
Balta's clearance came off the outside of his own post. Corner for Spain from Silva, and headed down and over by Gerard Piqué, who could easily have scored his second goal of the tournament.
You have to say that's a really bad miss. Comes over top of the defender. He's got a free header. They teach you to head it down, but not immediately down, so it bounces up and over the crossbar. Maybe again it was Hakan Balta that just took his eye off the ball, just mistimed it very, very slightly, but a glorious opportunity for Piqué.
We're in the Stade de Nice on BBC Radio 5 Live. This is where Northern Ireland played their first game against Poland. Rather unusual looking stadium from the outside, sort of half bouncy castle, half greenhouse, I'd say, like solar panels all round it, like an exoskeleton. You can see through the solar panels and you can kind of see the metalwork in behind, but when you look at the aerial shots, it's kind of got that sort of bobbly round roof that makes it look a little bit like a bouncy castle. Holds 36,000. England or Wales could play here actually in the last 16 if one of them finishes runner-up in Group B. Fabregas on the ball for Spain. 11 and a half minutes in. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Silva to Juan Fran. On to Morata. Played wide to Juan Fran on the right-hand side. And that pass is intercepted by the left back Caner, who whacks it into Juan Fran, and the ball is behind for a Turkey goal kick.
I think Turkey will be delighted just to get a little bit of respite at the moment. Constant pressure from Spain. Do look in meaningful form so far this evening.
Did you shake that fizzy drink up on purpose, the one you gave our producer this evening?
No, mine was absolutely fine.
Right, because he's just had a little accident there, and we've got some sticky stuff all over the deck.
He's not had a good day, our producer.
No.
Well, I have to just say, there's a pause in the game at the moment. At breakfast this morning, looking to put his hard-boiled egg onto his toast, he'd forgotten to hard-boil it.
Yeah.
And he ended up putting a raw egg on his toast. It's not been a good day for John Southall.
No. There's a big container of hot water sitting beside the eggs, and there's a sign that says, "Please do your eggs in here." He ignored that and paid the price. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Clearance from David De Gea down the middle of the pitch. Selçuk in central midfield for Turkey, who aren't in red like their supporters this evening. White shirts with a sort of light blue at the bottom of them. That almost runs for Burak. Nice step over from Jordi Alba at left back, and he plays the ball back to David De Gea, who's yet to concede a goal, playing a competitive international for Spain. Admittedly, that is only 4 games against Luxembourg, Macedonia and Ukraine in the group, and the Czech Republic here. But Spain's defence is absolutely rock solid. They're giving the ball away. Busquets comes sliding in, as he so often does, to win it back. Iniesta has it on the halfway line. Vicente Del Bosque has spotted something he doesn't quite like, so he's out to the edge of the pitch just to get the message across, in a smart dark blue suit at the moment, just casually, languidly waving his right hand forwards to the Spanish players. Busquets to Iniesta onto the right foot, 30 yards out, curling ball to Silva, heads it back into the box. Fabregas brings it down on his thigh, lays it off to Juan Fran, out on the right hand side, just outside the area, tries to slide a ball in, blocked by Ozyakup, who crazily backheels it straight to Silva. Silva into the box now, onto his left foot, lays it back. Iniesta with the curling shot, it's deflected. The ball loops up in the air. It's then headed away by Caner, and Ozyakup this time does the right thing and clears it with his left foot downfield. Piqué wins the header, Selçuk heads it sideways, Ozan Tufan nods it forwards, Piqué wins another header, Fabregas with the next header, Ozyakup slips, Juan Fran will kick it anywhere, but Ozan Tufan intercepts. Turkey coming up the middle of the pitch now, and now they spread it to the right hand side, and Gökhan, their right back, plays the ball back down the right hand side to Hakan Çalhanoğlu. They try and play a 1-2. They've got it wrong. Iniesta's won the ball back. Danny Mills.
And that's the problem for Turkey. They had the ball in a decent area on that far side, breaking away.
Morata trying to get away down the inside left channel. The run should be covered by Mehmet. Let's not forget he was just feeling his hamstring a couple of minutes ago. He says he was pushed. He's conceded the corner. It was his touch that was last.
He was trying to shield the ball out of play. There's not an awful lot in it. I have to say, he stops and he slips, falls over, goes to ground, looks desperately at the referee, but the referee wasn't having any of it. But that was the problem at the other end. Turkey, decent counter-attack, had an opportunity, and then just played the ball between themselves on the far right-hand side. They didn't know whether to put the ball in the box or go past anybody.
Spain 0, Turkey 0. Just over quarter of an hour played in Nice on BBC Radio 5 Live. Silva with the corner with his left foot. That is hit hard and deep, and actually it's clear Gerard Piqué has really got a sprint to try and keep it in. He does it with his right foot, but he's actually given the ball away, and it's Çalhanoğlu now, the Bayer Leverkusen midfielder, who brings it up the left-hand side for Turkey. Busquets again for Spain. Read the danger, got in, made the tackle. Arda Turan, Barcelona player. Hasn't had too much football for them this season. That not through, completely his own making. Here's Çalhanoğlu again. Selçuk down the left-hand side to Caner. His pass infield is intercepted. Juan Fran clears. Selçuk on the ball again. And Turkey have it with Ozan Tufan, who's 21 years old, plays his football for Fenerbahce, stocky figure in midfield for Turkey. Took a lot of criticism after the defeat against Croatia, caught on camera as Modric was volleying the ball home, brushing his hand through his hair to make sure his hair looked right while Croatia were taking the lead. It didn't go down too well back in Turkey. Ball up the middle of the pitch, headed away by Piqué. Burak nods it back here to Ozan Tufan. he of the luxuriant hair, and Turkey again inside their own half, and Spain are pressing. Iniesta forces that pass to be played quickly to Janer. Janer goes long. In fact, that's Hakan Balta, the centre-back, who goes long and straight into the arms of David De Gea. Italy won, Sweden 0 in the first game today at Euro 2016. That's taken Italy through to the last 16 with 2 wins from 2 games, no goals conceded. Another late one, though, which seems to be the way of things at this tournament. And Czech Republic 2, Croatia 2 doesn't tell the whole story of that game. We'll probably have more reaction to that during half-time of this one. Terrible scenes, 15 minutes to go, with flares being thrown on the pitch. One security steward, as they were clearing them up, almost being hit by one. Fighting breaking out in the stands. Czech Republic coming back from 2-0 down as Spain come forward here, but the pass cannot be controlled by Nolito, and so Volkan, the Turkish goalkeeper, is able to take control of the ball. So Danny, we played just under 20 minutes. What have you made of Spain so far?
Good positive start. We've had 3 or 4 opportunities when they've got into the box, had reasonable chances, haven't really tested the goalkeeper yet. One defender knocked onto the outside of his post. Piqué had a fantastic opportunity from the corner. Iniesta had a shot that was blocked after David Silva did an unbelievable piece of skill. Sold the defender the dummy, then cut back inside. But I think, and probably Kim Balaguer will say at half time, sometimes Spain, they've just got to shoot, maybe from 20, 25 yards. They've got great players in their side that can strike a ball, but sometimes they just want to score the perfect goal after 50, 60 passes, whatever it is.
Spain in the red shirts attacking the goal away to our right hand side. Morata doing well for his team. He had 3 defenders on him. Eventually the ball's gone behind for the goal kick. By the way, talking about the David Silva turn, this wasn't my commentary. Our producer John Southall was telling me about this, one of the lines of last season, and I can't remember the name of the chap who delivered it. It was Loftus-Cheek's brilliant turn for Chelsea, and he said Loftus went one way, Cheek went the other, and the defender was left with the hyphen. Which I wish was mine. Very good indeed, and that's exactly what David Silva did. And John's going to tell me who came up with the line, just in case they're listening and say you've nicked my line. David Eyre. Well done, David Eyre. We like that one. BBC Radio 5 Live, almost 20 minutes played in Nice, your Euro 2016 station. Highlights of all the games on BBC One at 11:25 tonight in the UK. Iniesta's been caught here. Had 2 yellow cards in the game early on. Iniesta's in a spot of bother here. He's rolling around holding his right ankle, and he stuck his left arm out as if to say, I might need some treatment.
The back of his Achilles just got caught. I don't think it was deliberate. I think it was just ran past him, tried to win the ball, just steps on the back of his ankle. See, there is.
Ooh, ouch.
It's just a nasty one. That'll be sore.
Yeah.
That will hurt.
Tell me something, Danny. That doesn't look, that deliberate or nasty, but it could be a clever foul, that, as in Iniesta's their best player. Why don't I just tread on his ankle? Well,
occasionally, but I think sometimes, when you see it in slow motion, it always looks a lot worse. You're talking microseconds between getting his foot and not. Sometimes you have to look at the player's eyes and his running action. He didn't change the direction of his leg to actually come down and stamp on him. Sometimes it's a contact sport. Sometimes, you do get contact.
Turkey bringing the ball away down the left-hand side. Arda Turan has lots of space. 2 players in support on his right, and here's Ozyakup. Ozyakup to Burak, flags up offside. Burak was in a good position there with his back to goal to try and lay it off. Rare attacking opportunity for Turkey in the first half, and he was offside.
Good decision by the linesman, made it a little bit easier for him. It was right on the 18-yard box, so it was a natural line for him to look across.
You've got to do something special to score against Spain. Not conceded in their last 9 competitive internationals since losing 2-1 away to Slovakia in qualifying a couple of years ago almost now, and not conceded in over 600 minutes of European Championship football since Antonio Di Natale scored against them at Euro 2012 in the opening group game. Been through 6.5 games since then. Brilliant ball from Piqué, finds Juanfran, he's offside, he missed it anyway.
Brilliant run from Juanfran. Sometimes when the defence sits really deep, you need your midfield players or fullbacks to run in behind. It's a yard offside. Again, right along the 18-yard box. There's a defender on the far corner of the 18-yard box that the linesman did very well to see and pick him up.
Kind of run Danny Mills used to make. when playing for England. England starting right back at the 2002 World Cup. With us in Nice tonight. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Spain have struck the outside of Turkey's post, although it was via the boot of Hakan Balta, the Turkish defender. Spain clearing their lines at the moment, and Gerard Piqué knew what to do there, didn't try and be clever, just whacked it out of play, throwing to Turkey on the left-hand side, just inside the Spain half.
And that's the difference. Maybe someone like John Stones that we talk about could be exceptional, could be a Spanish type player, could play for Barcelona or in a Spanish team, but hasn't quite worked out yet when to hoof it in the stand and when to come out and play from the back.
Talking John Stones, Danny will be summarising on the game. Monday night, the last group games that are played at the same time, England, Slovakia. Full commentary on 5 Live. Danny will be there. Çalhanoğlu on the edge of the Spanish box with his left foot, gets under the shot, blasted over the bar. So David De Gea's not tested. The head-to-head start on Sunday. France-Switzerland is our commentary, 8 o'clock on Sunday night. And then, as I said, England-Slovakia on Monday night, with Danny part of the team. The Wales-Russia game kicking off at the same time will be on Sports Extra. And following the England game, we'll have a 6:06 as well to get your calls in. Rio Ferdinand will be amongst those taking the calls. Spain 0, Turkey 0. That's still to come on Monday. This is Friday night, which might be part of the reason why the stadium's not completely full in Nice. But it's not too bad now. Ramos onto Iniesta. Jordi Alba, great run down the left-hand side. Players to aim at, crosses in. Morata can't get his head on it. Mehmet was in a good position. Iniesta nods it sideways to Busquets. Iniesta, curling pass into the area. Caner volleys it away. Turkey just outside their own box. Ozan Tufan clears it and Selçuk screams at him and said he should have given it to me. Fabregas, balling towards Morata. He jumps, he can't get a head on it, and he's fouled Mehmet anyway. And so it is a free kick to Turkey.
Both fullbacks for Spain playing very, very high up the pitch, with Turkey really only playing one up front. The defence and the midfield are very, very deep. That's allowing them to push forward, and that's where they're trying to get in behind. Turkey are trying to condense the play as much as they possibly can in centre field, so Spain are trying to go around the outside.
Spain win tonight. They'll be through to the last 16 ahead of their last group game against Croatia. And we'll wait and see what UEFA do about Croatia and the scenes in the game against the Czech Republic today. Now, was that a foul? Yes, it was. Juan Fran on Arda Turan. Free kick between 25 and 30 yards out in a central position. Foul for you, Danny?
Yeah, I think it was. As he was running inside, Juan Fran just cuts across him, just gives him a little bit of a nudge. And sometimes, if you're an attacking player, especially against somebody like Spain, when you're not going to get too many chances, you get a nudge, you get a little trip, go down, then let the referee make sin. I'm not advocating cheating and saying just dive, but if there's a push or you get kicked, and that means you're going to get a free kick, a direct shot on goal, you've got to go down and take that opportunity.
Hakan Çalhanoğlu, I think, will hit this one for Turkey. The Bayer Leverkusen midfielder has scored 6 goals in his last 13 appearances for Turkey, and he's standing. He's going to run sideways at this, just wipe some sweat from his top lip. David De Gea has his wall in place. Long way out this.
He'll do well to get enough power in this, from 29 yards out, to get this over the wall with that sort of run up.
Çalhanoğlu for Turkey, whips it over the wall and over the bar, and David De Gea had it covered.
Yeah, it was too far out to have that sort of run up. He had to whip his foot right around the ball. De Gea saw it all day long, knew exactly what he was trying to do. A couple of steps, didn't even look at it, knew it was going over the bar in the end.
Just do what Gareth Bale does, just get him on target like he's done in the first 2 games, and let the keeper try and deal with it, because sometimes they might give you a helping hand.
Well, let the keeper dive out of the way. I think that's happened a couple of times, isn't it?
Yeah.
But effectively, hit the target. If you don't hit the target, you've got no chance of scoring. Exactly. If you do, bad bounce, get a rebound, anything.
Wise words from Danny Mills on BBC Radio 5 Live. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Iniesta is scurrying around trying to win the ball back for Spain just inside the Turkey half. Selçuk nods it sideways. Ozan Tufan just clips it up the right hand side, but it's gone straight out for a throw, which Jordi Alba was going to take quickly. Turkey spotted that, so he couldn't get it back to Ramos. Here's Busquets on the ball. Now he's in a tight spot, back heels it, he's tripped, and Spain get the free kick.
I think Busquets is very underrated. Guillaume Balaguer talked earlier about Iniesta maybe being underappreciated. Busquets is phenomenal. I know he play acting, throws himself to the ground at times. We don't want to see that. He's 27 years old and he's absolutely exceptional. The way he just goes around that whole midfield area, he wins the ball, he wins tackles, breaks things up, and then he can play.
Nolito lays it off to Busquets. Now Silva on the left hand side up to the edge of the area. Turkey double team him, get the ball off him, but they've given it away because that man Busquets is there again. Vicente Del Bosque already at this tournament has been waxing lyrical about the job that Sergio Busquets does for Spain, and I think his release clause from Barcelona, the fee on his head if you actually wanted to buy him, is absolutely ludicrous. Here he is, Busquets through the middle, nice pass to the edge of the area, curling shot is just wide from Nolito with his right foot. Beautiful strike. The goalkeeper Volcan was worried. He went at full stretch and it just whistled past the post.
Only a couple of feet wide of the post. Great move. But again, it came through Busquets. He won the ball in the first place, then he just drifted into a little bit of space, rolled the ball, great little pass into Nolito, turned, just trying to bend it, couldn't quite get enough bend on the ball, but the goalkeeper flying to his left hand side, outstretched arm, he certainly had a bit of a panic up.
Spain 0, Turkey 0. Throw in for David Silva just inside the Spain half. Back to Gerard Piqué. His long legs come striding forward. Another long-legged player in Busquets. Strokes the pass along the halfway line to Jordi Alba. Now Nolito might pick up the pace on the left-hand side. Whistles and jeers from the Turkey fans. Ball is played forward here, up to the edge of the area. Morata back to Busquets. Wide to the left-hand side to Alba. Back to Busquets. 30 yards out. Floats it over the top. Nodded down almost to Nolito. Turkey just managed to get a header in. Mehmet in time, and then Ozan Tufan goes down, claims he was pushed by David Silva, and wins the free kick. Spain 0, Turkey 0.
Well, Spain are going to start to get a little bit frustrated if it carries on at that. Turkey will be very, very pleased if they can get to half time at 0-0. That's a very, very good result for them. Spain might just have to change things, and I do find it'd be interesting to hear what Guillaume Balaguer has got to say at half time. When you can leave Diego Costa out of your squad,
and Torres,
Torres maybe is a little bit past it, maybe I understand it.
Oh, Burak running through onto a long ball. David De Gea is there quickly, slices the clearance, and it's out for a Turkey throw on the right.
But whatever you think, Diego Costa gives you another option, even if you have to bring him off the bench. He has a goal threat, maybe not to everybody's liking, but a little bit surprised that he doesn't get in the squad.
Throwing for Turkey, Spain 0, Turkey 0. Çalhanoğlu plays it back out to the right. Here's Ozan Tufan. Back to Hakan Balta, centre back. Controls it neatly on his thigh, but oh dear, he's gone backwards and then passed it sideways to Caner. Not the best ball, and it's rolled under his foot and gone out for a throw. I mean, Spain have tried all sorts of different things up front in recent times. Diego Costa, Soldado, Negredo, Llorente, Michu, Paco Alcacer. Sometimes quite difficult, as we were discussing before the game, Danny, to play as the striker in this Spanish system.
Even Fabregas has played up there, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen Fabregas play in the number 9 role.
Yeah, here's Silva now. Oh, lovely ball. Right hand side to Juan Fran. Pulls it back. Here's the chance. Nolito scuffed it. It's wide. Best chance of the game.
Brilliant move. Absolutely fantastic, and that's why you don't want David Silva playing in the number 9 role. You want in those deeper positions, but it was Juan Fran again making that run in behind, does incredibly well, pulls the ball back, but the defender just about does enough. Ozan Tufan coming in, just gets a little nudge on Nolito, just enough to put him off, I think.
14 minutes remaining in the first half in Nice. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Game taking on a sort of similar shape to the one against the Czech Republic. Took Spain a while to break them down. Oh, Piqué winning a header here. Has fallen on top of Busquets, I think. They both went for the same ball and landed almost like two bits of bread in a sandwich, like slap bang on top of each other.
Piqué looks to have been a little bit of bother here. Busquets is at the bottom of that. Not a huge issue. and I think it's the fall. He seemed to be clutching his thigh or his knee as he landed. Busquets looks to be alright, he's got up, but he's still down, PK, and he's definitely grabbing that left thigh, that left
leg.
knee.
He's in some bother, Gerard Piqué. He's down on his knees, and now he's turning over and he's rolling onto his back here. He came in to win the ball. Busquets got the call and ducked out of the way, but couldn't completely get out of the way. And Piqué's fallen from a great height, and he's just struggling a little bit here for Spain. Spain 0, Turkey 0. As I said, all the highlights from today's games on BBC One at 11:25. I'm not sure necessarily whether you'll want to see the scenes, but pretty disturbing scenes in the 5 o'clock kickoff today in the game between Croatia and Czech Republic. Croatia were leading 2-0, 15 minutes to go. A section of their supporters threw 7 or 8 flares onto the pitch. Security staff started to clear them up. Another one was thrown and almost hit someone. Then fighting broke out in the stands. Mark Clattenburg had to stop the game for a while. It was 2-1 at the time. And then Croatia after that, I mean, you felt for their players because the fans completely ruined it for them. They'd gone, conceded a late penalty, and it ended up 2-2. 11:25 BBC One for the highlights. Here's Iniesta. Spain 0, Turkey 0. Good noise from the Turkish fans at the moment, but their defenders are going to concentrate. Jordi Alba, wide left, back to Nolito. Nolito's curling ball. Morata with the header, 1-0. Fabulous goal from Spain. They've got the breakthrough late in the first half. Alvaro Morata with the crucial touch. Spain 1, Turkey 0.
Brilliant finish. Great ball into the box. And he just arched his back, knew that he just needed the faintest of contacts. Didn't try and overcomplicate it, just flicked it into the far corner. But the cross in was absolutely exceptional. Brilliant ball into the box from Nolito. Everybody comes up, and there he is, Morata. As it comes in, it's one of those balls that almost would have drifted into the far corner had he have not touched it. And he just needed the faintest of touches, is what he got, into the far corner. And you can't see anything else now in this game except for a Spain win.
Yeah, and we were talking there about Spain strikers and the problems they were having. Wonderful flick header from Alvaro Morata for Spain. The European champions at it again, leading by a goal to 0, but have got that goal much, much earlier. How will Turkey respond? Burak, their main striker, on the ball. Plays it out to Arda Turan, the Barcelona man on the left-hand side. Short, stocky figure with the beard and the yellow boots. Slips over, Busquets nicks it off him. And Spain come pouring forward. Nolito, acres of space on the left-hand side, headed away by Mehmet. A few players slipping here because Iniesta slipped as well there as he went to pick up the loose ball. Jordi Alba in quickly to win the ball. He's fouled. Çalhanoğlu on the left-hand side. And so Turkey get the free kick. Spain 1, Turkey 0. Just to remind you, a Spain win takes them through to the last 16 to join France and Italy as the teams that are already confirmed in the last 16. Spain's last group game would be against Croatia, and then Turkey and the Czech Republic would battle it out for third spot. The 4 best third place teams from the 6 groups will make it into the last 16. But you worry for Turkey now, Danny Mills, don't you?
Yeah, you really can't see them scoring, and you just think that if they do come out and try to attack a little bit more, they'll get hit again with a sucker punch. Spain will just dominate possession even more than what they did before. But interesting, you said, players slipping. A lot of players seem to have slipped during this tournament. Seems to be a really common theme. I just wonder, maybe all these new boots, maybe the studs aren't quite long enough.
Fabregas, flick pass into the area here. Nolito onto it! 2-0! Beautiful finish. Fabregas's ball was half intercepted. It was nodded up in the air. Nolito waited for it to drop and then just caressed it into the bottom corner. And Spain are heading into the last 16, cruising in Nice. Spain 2, Turkey 0.
Well, we could have our first rout of the tournament, I think. This could turn into 4, 5, 6 if Spain want it to. It was absolutely appalling defending. Fabregas just tried to scoop it over the top of the defence. Didn't quite hit it hard enough. And the defender, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. It looked like Mehmet Topal wanted to head it back towards the goalkeeper, then changed his mind, was going to clear it, ended up doing neither, and just popped it straight up in the air.
Clever finish that, Danny, as well. Didn't lash at it, did he? He just put a right foot on it and just rolled it into the bottom corner, waited for it to drop. Spain 2, Turkey 0, and this game has changed in the blink of an eye. Spain currently on 6 points as things stand and heading into the last 16 and looking good. Janer, hopeful ball into the middle of the pitch, and then Jordi Alba chested it down and two players left it for each other. Arda Turan, horrible shot, skews it wide and behind for a goal kick to Spain. Yes.
A little bit desperate from Turan. Again, 25 yards out, just trying to hit it a little bit too hard, and when you do that you tend to choke it and just drag it off to one side, which is exactly what he did.
Busquets, walking pace, jogging pace actually to be fair, from Sergio Ramos as he brings the ball up to the halfway line. David De Gea's had nothing to do. Turkey have had one free kick over the bar. Spain totally in control, and they're in the mood tonight as well. Here's Morata, scorer of the first goal, down by the corner flag on the left hand side. He's fouled and he wins Spain a free kick. I quite fancy 2-0 actually, Danny, because in the BBC Predictor League, which you can do on the BBC Sport website, I went 2-0.
So did I. There you go.
Did you?
Great minds think alike. That'll do now, Spain. Just come back and,
keep the ball.
Let's not worry about the commentary, making it interesting. Just play keep ball for the next, 50 minutes or so.
Yeah, unlikely. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Spain 2, Turkey 0. And Spain with a free kick wide on the left-hand side, which is drilled low. Back to David Silva, miscues the shot, and it's cleared away by Ozan Tufan. Back to Jordi Alba, onto Iniesta. Back by the halfway line, not going to panic there, he's on his own, but he's just teasing Burak there and saying, right, well, if you want it, you come and get it, and I'll just dance around you, and that's what he did. Juan Fran, down the line to Sergio Ramos on the right wing. Thought about the first time cross. Gerard Piqué is in the centre-forward position at the moment. That tells you the sort of mood Spain are in. Spain 2, Turkey 0, and it's the Olays as well. Every time Spain complete a pass. Silva to Fabregas, to Silva to Fabregas. Fabregas again to Iniesta. Dances between a couple of Turkish midfielders, then loses it to Ozan Tufan. Turkey give it away, can't do that. Silva, wide to Iniesta. Iniesta on the left-hand side, running at Ozan Tufan. Skips round him into the area, pulled back. Just outside the box, yellow card for Ozan Tufan, and the referee says free kick. Yard further on, that was a penalty.
This will be really interesting to see, because it was so close to the line that the free kick's been given a foot outside the penalty area. He has a grab, yeah, it's definitely outside to start with. It's a great little burst of pace for Iniesta to go down and round the outside, but they tried a short, clever free kick a minute ago. See what they do this time.
Surprisingly quick, Iniesta. I thought that watching him the other day as well.
Sharp, isn't he? Off the mark.
First couple of yards. Spain 2, Turkey 0. David Silva over the free kick from the byline, curls it back to the penalty spot. It's hooked up in the air and nodded back by Fabregas to Juan Fran. So Turkey have cleared it for now. They trail by 2-0, having a pretty miserable Euro 2016. Selçuk back to Janer. They've given it away again almost. Ozan in there and just whacks the ball high in the air. Piqué with a flicked header. Selçuk volleys it away, and Turkey are a little bit all over the place at the moment. They need the half-time whistle to come just to try and sort themselves out. First major tournament for them since Euro 2008, when they actually reached the semi-finals, only to lose to Germany 3-2. But I don't think it's going to be that this time round. Silva and Iniesta just knocking a couple of 1-2s together. Headed clear from the edge of the box by Mehmet, who made that awful header to tee up the second goal for Nolito. Iniesta, curling pass to Piqué. Piqué wide to Juan Fran, just inside the Turkey half. Spain 2, Turkey 0. Juan Fran is tackled, the ball runs loose. Selçuk wins the 50-50, it runs to Janer on the left to Selçuk. First time pass here to Ozyakup. Ozan Ozyakup brings it forward. They try a little 1-2. Sergio Ramos with a clever little back heel flick finds Iniesta. The Spanish fans love that. Iniesta comes gliding forward, plays it on to Jordi Alba, to Silva. David Silva, 25 yards from goal, wide to Morata on the right hand side. Cross into the far post is headed away But Ramos will get there first for Spain. Spain looking to kill this off before half-time. They lead 2-0 and they want a third. Ramos with the 1-2 with Iniesta. Plays it to Fabregas, back to Iniesta in the penalty area. Iniesta turns, still going and dribbling, and just lost it at the crucial moment.
Fascinating to watch. Spanish players can basically play where they want. Jordi Alba made a run to the centre-forward position and stayed there for a bit. You know, Juanfran's doing the same. They're so fluid as a team. They're so dominant.
Got some defending to do at the moment though. Ozan Tufan comes running forward, then tries to slide the pass in for Burak, who goes down and says he was fouled by Ramos as he made the run. And the referee Milorad Mazic, the Serbian, says no, and Spain immediately are right onto Turkey here, attacking down the left with Nolito. Little mazy dribble from him, tackled on the edge of the box, cleared to the halfway line. Ramos heads it sideways to his left. Spain 2, Turkey 0. Approaching half-time here in Nice. Busquets in the centre circle. 3 more commentaries coming your way from Euro 2016 tomorrow. First one 2 o'clock, Belgium, Republic of Ireland, with John Murray and Mark Lawrenson. Silva on the left. Silva inside the Turkish penalty area, just teasing the defenders here. What's he going to do with it? Turns 360 degrees, plays it out to Fabregas, just toying with Turkey here, who hits a floated pass back to Piqué, who shoots from 30 yards, and maybe better not try that again. Not great. Wide. Goal kick.
Don't think his fellow players will be too pleased with that. Okay, we have said Spain maybe sometimes need to shoot from a little bit further out. 35 yards, scuffs, not really good enough when you've got some amazing players in front of you. But Spain, they are brilliant to watch. They are so fluid. You know, players will go everywhere, and the moment that happens, somebody else just drops in. You know, we just saw a minute ago Morata chasing all the way back deep into his own half, you know, helping out his defence.
Brilliant skill from Ozan Ozyakup. Sells the dummy on Fabregas, and he's on top of the Spanish back four. Plays it in here to Çalhanoğlu. Juanfran with the tackle. Now wide to Arda Turan. Turan inside the Spanish penalty area. Back to Janer. Janer's cross in, volleyed away by Ramos. I thought it was going to be 3-on-3 for a second there. Busquets has slowed it down. Just inside the Spanish half. Silva turns and finds Fabregas. Morata's away on the right. Piqué running through the middle. Morata tries to find him, and Mehmet slides in and concedes the corner.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You've got Piqué playing centre forward. Initially it was Busquets in the number 10 role. You know, Morata down the right wing. It's like watching training ground five-a-side. It's like, you know what, lads, just go and attack. Do what you want, just go and play.
Used to talk total football with Holland in the 70s, and that is the kind of thing we're talking about. Any player, any position, all on each other's wavelength. Spain have been mesmeric tonight.
Defensively, very, very similar. When someone gets pulled out of position, someone else just drops in. And as great players that they are, that takes hard work.
Nolito's corner from the right-hand side, nodded down, drops in the 6-yard box. Ozan Tufan has almost kicked it out of the stadium, miles in the air, drops down in the penalty area. Fabregas is going to win it here. The ball will bounce its way back to Silva. Silva to Nolito, cross into the far post. Ramos tries to backheel it into the area on the volley, misses, is still able to collect it by the corner flag on the left. Cross into the near post. Mehmet whacks it away with his right foot. We're in added time at the end of the first half. Busquets first time ball forward. Finally Spain lose it, and here's Burak. Burak surrounded by 3 red shirts, holds off Silva. Silva doggedly wins the tackle but concedes the free kick. Spain 2, Turkey 0. Spain are looking good.
They really are. Very, very pleased. I think Guim Balaguer, when we listened to him at half-time, we delighted with their performance. Couple of goals. They can cruise through the second half. And be very, very surprised. Yes, I'm sure they'll make changes, take the foot off the gas a little bit. But I'll be very, very surprised if they don't score at least another one.
Half-time whistle blows in Nice, and it's a masterclass from the European champions, looking much more deadly than their first game. Took them just over half an hour to finally break Turkey down. Morata with the first flicked header. Just after that, Nolito with a very sweet finish. He's having a right old laugh as he comes off at half-time here, and Spain are in cruise control. They're heading to the last 16. Half-time on BBC Radio 5 Live. Spain 2, Turkey 0. Thank you, Dan. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the Bayer Leverkusen midfielder, has made way, and Nuri Sahin is on. Spain have been out there for a couple of minutes already, playing so well and enjoying it so much. I think, right, come on, let's get on with this. Out you come. Spain 2, Turkey 0. I was just going to ask you, actually, Danny Mills, in your international career, or even club career, you know, in Turkey's position, when you're playing against a team one night who are as good as this, I mean, who can you remember playing against where you're just thinking, oh my goodness, we've got a job on here, and I'm not really sure we're going to be able to do anything about it?
First Champions League game, played against Barcelona in the Camp Nou, and got absolutely ripped apart. And I think we got out of our half, ended up 4-0 in the game. And you're thinking, well, let's just keep it down to respectable. You know, let's not get beat 5 or 6. And I think at the moment, that's what Turkey got to try and do. The only reason that might not happen is if Turkey, you know, take their foot off the pace.
Spain.
Sorry, Spain take their foot off the pace.
Yeah. Well, Iniesta's already having fun because he's juggling on the halfway line, flicked it over the head of Özcan, picked it up the other side, played the pass to the left, and it's out for the throw. Yeah, I guess the only other thing Spain have got to be careful of is a little bit of complacency, but I think they're too experienced for that to happen to them. Into the first minute of the second half in Nice, on the Côte d'Azur. We've had a gloriously sunny day, quite windy out there as we were driving to the ground tonight. Huge tall palm trees swaying in these strong gusts down by the seaside. Danny was out running earlier on today and working up a sweat, but it's cooled down now. A little breeze around the stadium. Spain leading Turkey by 2-0, a win that'll take them through to the last 16. Turkish fans a little bit quiet, and the flags that were flapping furiously in the first half are now hanging rather limply over the front of the stands away to our right hand side. Turkey in white shirts which go from white to light blue at the bottom of them, red numbers on their backs, black shorts, red socks, attacking that goal away to our right hand side. Spain in red shirts, blue shorts, black socks. Classic Spain, and it's been a classical Spanish performance. Better stuff from Turkey started this second half. Özcan with the ball out to the left, Janier's cross in, good header away from Jordi Alba, couldn't see what was behind him there, just headed it away to the left. Nolito was there to pick it up. Jordi Alba to Iniesta back to Alba, to Fabregas, to Iniesta. It's poetry again on the pitch, and here's Ramos. You really do sense they're up for it tonight, Spain, and really enjoying themselves. It's clicking, and it's probably worrying for the other teams in this tournament. Spain going for an unprecedented hat-trick of titles, don't forget that either. No team's ever done it. No team's ever won it back-to-back before Spain did it in 2008, 2012. Could possibly make it 3 in France this summer. You'll hear it all here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Fabregas to Iniesta, 25 yards from goal. Iniesta jinking his way through. What a ball! Alba, Morata, 3-0, and it's so easy for Spain. They just walk through Turkey's defence there at will. First touch stuff, started by Iniesta, finished by Morata, and it's an absolute rout in Nice. Spain 3, Turkey 0.
I just want to stand up and applaud. That is an exceptional team goal. I think Jordi Alba might just have been half a yard offside as he made the run in behind. It's a brilliant ball from Iniesta, outside of his foot in Jordi Alba, who is then, I have to say, incredibly unselfish. With the goalkeeper to beat, one-on-one, he rolls the ball across for his teammate Morata, tap it through the goalkeeper's legs, so there's absolutely no chance. But from start to finish, it was almost the perfect Spanish goal, wasn't it? Exceptional play.
First team to score 3 goals in the tournament. Spain 3, Turkey 0, and it could well be more. As Danny said, that may well have been offside. It's the only thing that slightly takes the edge off it. But the invention and the execution and the vision and the unselfishness at the end, it's just fabulous to watch. Spain 3, Turkey 0. They are swarming forward again. Here's Silva now on the right-hand side. Juan Fran outside him. Silva overruns it. He's been tackled by Nuri Sahin. The ball's come back to Iniesta. Curling ball. Morata on a hat-trick. Heads it just wide. I think there's going to be more, Danny.
I certainly think you're right. And this is why when I was asked about who do you think might get the golden boot in the tournament, I said it might be somebody a little bit unpredictable, because at some point in this tournament somebody is going to hammer somebody else because of the so-called weaker nations. Obviously the extra teams have been brought into this. At one point in the group games, someone will get a hat-trick or might even get 4 goals, in one game, and this could be it.
Spain 3, Turkey 0, and the worrying thing for the Turkish fans, Turkish players. We've only played 4.5 minutes in the second half. Busquets under pressure on the edge of his own penalty area. Haven't even had time to give you the teams in the second half just yet. Let's do it now. De Gea in goal for Spain. Back four, Juan Fran, Piqué, Ramos and Jordi Alba. Busquets in front of them. Fabregas, Iniesta making it all tick again. Nolito scored 1, Morata scored 2, and David Silva is pulling the strings over on the right hand side.
Shall I say for a job with Turkey? Burak Yilmaz is up front and everybody else is defending.
Volkan Babacan in goal. Could be busy in the next 40 minutes or so. Right back Gökhan Gönül, Mehmet Topal and Hakan Balta the centre backs. Caner Erkin at left back. Nuri Sahin has come on to play in midfield with Selçuk Inan and Ozan Tufan. And here comes Spain again down the left hand side. As Danny said, Burak is up front, Arda Turan and Ozan Özyakup doing their best to try and keep Spain at bay. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Great fun to watch tonight in Nice as Fabregas comes chasing across the halfway line to close down Arda Turan. Turan plays the ball back into his own half. Could be a long night for Turkey. Spain going through to the last 16. A real statement of intent so far. Selçuk, ball is flicked on by Özyakup. Burak to the edge of the area, little touch inside. Piqué curls it wide. Good chance.
Really good chance. Did fantastically well to turn inside Piqué, then on his left foot lost all composure, leaning back and blazed it 4 or 5 yards over the bar. It's a really poor finish after he got himself into a great position.
Ramos on to Piqué. Piqué plays it wide to Juan Fran. Fabregas looking down the inside right channel for Alvaro Morata, who'll fancy his chances of a European Championship hat-trick tonight. Starting up front again for Spain. Has scored twice. As Danny was saying, got to be very, very grateful to Jordi Alba for the second one, who could have shot himself. May well have been offside, but in a way that takes the edge off the goal. But the move was so good, you wanted it to stand because it was just fabulous to watch.
It was half a yard offside.
Yeah.
You know, and it was very, very quick. You know, the ball that was played through, the movement, was exceptional.
Even the assistant linesman baffled by Spain's movement and skills. Ozan Tufan plays the ball up to the edge of the area. Burak tries to find him again in the middle. It's blocked by Piqué and behind for a corner.
Well, I think that's Spain's only issue, is if they do lose a little bit concentration, get a little bit too complacent and don't quite keep putting in the work rate that they need to really dominate and control this game.
Spain 3, Turkey 0. Spain heading through to the last 16. Selçuk with the corner for Turkey into the near post, headed away by Morata, and out for a throw into Turkey on the right hand side. We've already made one change. We'll wait and see what Vicente Del Bosque does with his substitutes in this game, and what sort of team Spain will put out in the last game as well against Croatia. Throw in for Turkey. It looks like it might be launched long, this one, into the penalty area. Might have slipped out of his hands. Goes very, very high. Ramos heads it away. Nuri Sahin heads it back infield. The ball bounces over his head. Gökhan's there as well. Özyakup trying to get away down the right. Nice back heel there to Gökhan. Selçuk's cross in over Burak's head. Cleared by Spain, only to the left hand side. Mehmet, the centre back, lets it run out of play. Spain 3, Turkey 0. And here's Caner, the left back. Plays the ball down the left. Arda Turan to Mehmet, who got away from Fabregas, got clipped by him, and then went down like the classic sort of toppling tree, just fell slowly to the ground and wins the free kick.
He went down in instalments, didn't he? He got caught, took 2 steps forward and then thought, I might not get this, and went down in slow motion himself.
He did. Danny Mills with us in Nice on BBC Radio 5 Live, and we're enjoying a pitch perfect performance from Spain so far this evening, leading Turkey by 3-0. Free kick to defend though. Selçuk will deliver this over from the left, curling with his right foot. Piqué in front of De Gea, heads it up in the air. The ball drops down in the Spain box. Piqué wins another header, then a third. Busquets heads it sideways. David Silva chests it down on the corner of the penalty area, has time to bring the ball down and turn. Mehmet's on his back. Silva plays it back to De Gea. De Gea takes a touch just in front of his own goal line, floats the pass cheekily wide to Sergio Ramos, who really acrobatically brings that down on his chest. Busquets stretches the long leg out to control it, and Spain, here they come again. Iniesta, long diagonal ball up to the edge of the penalty area, headed away by Gökhan. Here's Ozyakup under pressure from Fabregas. It's played back to the goalkeeper Volkan, who is all in grey, conceded 3 tonight, but you can't blame him. Nothing he could have done about any of them.
I feel a little bit sorry for Turkey at the moment. Their heads are spinning. They don't know where to look, where to run, what position to be in at the moment. Whatever they do isn't working, and Spain are just picking them off time and time again. Great performance from Spain.
Men against boys at the moment. Spain just way too good for Turkey. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Iniesta to Busquets. Lovely touch from Busquets to get away from Ozyakup. First time ball from Iniesta is back to Piqué. Piqué curls the pass out to the right to Juan Fran. Juan Fran level with the edge of the Turkey penalty area, plays it back to Iniesta into central midfield with Busquets 40 yards from goal, on to Fabregas. Fabregas to Nolito in the penalty area, little nutmeg. Nolito then tries to turn, goes down, but the ball was won cleanly and it's cleared to the halfway line, and Burak's got a job there because he's got 3-4 Spanish defenders around him. Well done. Gets the pass away to Ozyakup. Ozyakup plays it out to the left hand side to Arda Turan, who comes rumbling forward for Turkey, up to the edge of the area, wide to Caner. Caner's deep cross to the far post. Busquets is underneath it, cushions it down for Jordi Alba, who whacks it clear to the halfway line. Morata beaten in the air by Mehmet. Spain 3, Turkey 0. 11 minutes played in the second half. 3 more Euro 2016 commentaries coming your way tomorrow, starting with Belgium, Republic of Ireland, kicking off at 2 o'clock. John Murray and Mark Lawrenson will bring you that one from Bordeaux. Before that, second test in the Rugby Union, England having won the first against Australia. 5 Live Sport on air with Sonia McLaughlin from 10:30 in the morning. Caner's ball into the edge of the area. Burak, nice touch. Arda Turan, right-footed shot is blocked and behind for the corner.
Spain have really eased off. They're now just saying to Turkey, you can have the ball. We're not too worried about what you do when you get it. You can have it. We're just going to drop off. We're not going to close you down, put you under a great deal of pressure. When we've got it, we'll keep it. And I think they're quite happy now, maybe just to see the game out 3-0, and if they get another chance, they'll probably put it away.
Corner for Turkey. Spain leading 3-0. Curled into the edge of the 6-yard box and headed away by Piqué, and behind for a throw this time, wide on the right-hand side. And Turkey will come across and take the throw with Arda Turan. Just read a little stat here from our producer John that says Nolito and Alvaro Morata have scored 7 of Spain's last 8 goals. I know they both scored some in the warm-up games against South Korea that Spain won by 6-1. And Morata looking for the hat-trick tonight. And Guillaume Balaguer, part of our commentary team now, listening in the studio. Guillaume, I'm sure, smiling like a Cheshire cat back there.
A little bit. I was telling Dan that if you're commentating with Spain, you better have a bunch of stories to tell. And it's not so much because of the result. I mean, it's a bit surprising. It's because of how we play. So there is a lot of possession. It's possession-based football, as we all know. People have started calling it boring. I was looking into the social networks and they're bored of it. But it's the only way we can play. We haven't got fast players. We haven't got tall players. We haven't got physical players. So we keep the ball, which is a way of defending. And then, of course, we just attack together very slowly. So in the last third, we put an extra pace. But if we lose it, we're there to get it back. It's as simple as that, and call it boring if you like, but it's the only way we can play.
Yeah, not boring tonight, Guillaume, by any stretch of the imagination. And the third goal that Spain has scored right at the start of this second half, an absolutely classic example of that, just adding that incisiveness and acceleration right at the end of the move. And you just wonder whether another one's coming here. Spain leading Turkey by 3-0. Fabregas and Iniesta passing to each other. Jordi Alba on the left-hand side. Back to Iniesta, just toying with Turkey. And as Danny Mills was saying a few moments ago, you actually feel for Turkey's players here, because they are just up against a team that is way too good for them. Iniesta onto Fabregas. Fabregas looks for the run from Juan Fran down the right. controls it inside the penalty area. Low ball into David Silva, gets the shot away, took a deflection, and behind for a Spain corner. Danny Mills.
It's a really good block in the end. Juan Fran just waits, picks out David Silva, has an excellent first touch under pressure, manages to get the shot away, and the defender just manages to get his left shin on it.
Nolito from the short corner to Iniesta. David Silva's made a run. Iniesta's found him. Great first touch. David Silva, little trick. Left-footed shot is just wide. It would have been another sensational goal.
David Silva's touch is out of this world. Iniesta fires a ball at him at 120 miles an hour, and he just almost kills it dead. Absolutely brilliant touch to cut back inside. Can't quite get the finish on target, though.
One question I would ask you, Danny, is which has been more entertaining, Spain's football tonight or the sight of French drivers outside the stadium this evening on a motorway, realising their path was blocked and reversing down the fast lane towards oncoming traffic?
Unbelievable. Imagine going over the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, Dartford Bridge as it is, realising that the queues are a little bit bad at the toll, and then hang on a minute, I'm going to reverse all the way back over the bridge. But it wasn't just one, it was 4 or 5, and the police just stood there sort of shaking their heads, didn't they?
Almost applauding the sort of the daring do of it, and fortunately there weren't any accidents, but we just couldn't believe our eyes.
French driving is something a little bit different, isn't it? Their parking skills are exceptional.
Amazing in Nice. You walk past rows of cars parked bumper to bumper that almost look like the wheels have turned at right angles and slid into the spot. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Those have been the sights and sounds of Nice. I'll tell you what, we'll leave this city this evening though just in awe of the football Spain have put together. Just a real step up from what we saw from the first game against the Czech Republic. Turkey have made a second change. Olcay Şahan of Besiktas has come on. I didn't see who came off, but I'll check that out in just a second. Iniesta, it was Ozyakup who came off, so Besiktas player replaces Besiktas player. But I tell you what, you could bring all the subs on at the moment and have 20 against 11, and I think Spain would still give you one heck of a game. They're leading 3-0. They're passing it around for fun. Iniesta finds Piqué onto David Silva. Silva had Juan Fran as an option, went for Fabregas towards Morata, lays it off here. Iniesta's in there again to Fabregas, can't find Nolito on the edge of the area, and Turkey are able to bring the ball away down the right hand side. But as soon as they do, surrounded, Danny, by a clutch of red shirts, and they give it back.
What Spain do very, very well, if they think they have a chance of winning the ball back in the final third, in their attacking third, they go after it and they hunt in packs and they put you under tremendous pressure. And when you haven't had the ball for such a long time, you've been chasing around, you're tired, suddenly when you get the ball, concentration isn't quite right, and that's why they do it, because you can get it back very, very quickly.
Left hand side, Jordi Alba. Bruno getting ready to come on for Spain. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Nolito goes down, wins a free kick 25 yards from goal. Spain getting ready to make the change. Busquets wants to take the free kick quickly. He's not going to be allowed to. And so Bruno will come on and David Silva will come off, which will just mean a little rejig of things by Vicente Del Bosque. We'll see what Spain do with the free kick. And then we'll get back to Guillem Balaguer in our Paris studio. Watching the game with us this evening to ask him another question about this little fella Andres Iniesta, who just seems to get better and better and better. 32 years old, winning his 110th cap this evening. 4 years ago at Euro 2012 voted the player of the tournament, and you wouldn't bet against him being named it again this time round. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Free kick. Sergio Ramos looks like he fancies this. Maybe Fabregas, 30 yards out, runs over it. Ramos drives it into the wall. The ball spins up in the air, and Spain get a throw on the left-hand side. In no hurry to take it. So again, just let's give you a chance to say a little bit about Andres Iniesta. What can you say that hasn't already been said about him?
Well, we were discussing here why he hasn't been Ballon d'Or, for instance, which is a little bit of a recognition from players, from coaches, from journalists as well of his value. But then if somebody's want to put a case for the defence for Iniesta, it's like, right, okay, how many goals has he scored? Not many. How many assists? Well, not many. How many tackles? He doesn't really tackle. So it's like, well, how can you give him the Ballon d'Or? Well, because of that.
Plays passes like this one into Nolito on the left-hand side, comes back to Iniesta. Will he get a goal here? Can't quite bring the ball down on the edge of the box. Passes to Busquets. Busquets has lost it. And Arda Turan has it for Turkey on the left-hand side. Still a lot of football here to play for them. It'll seem never-ending. They're 3-0 down, and Arda Turan is getting whistled and jeered here, I think by his own supporters. They weren't very happy with the performance he put in, and he's putting his thumbs up, ironically, to the Turkish fans. Now, he's the captain, and he didn't play very well in the first game and took some stick for it. Turkish fans unhappy there that he wasn't kind of moving the play on very quickly, but that is not a good sign at all, is it, Danny Mills, if you got that sort of relationship going on with your team 3-0 down?
No, it's not. And in all honesty, there's not an awful lot that Turkey can do about this. In the first half, Spain was sensational, absolutely brilliant. I think Iniesta, we're just talking about him. I think he's looking at the bench, maybe coming off.
Ball over the top here to Morata. He's on a hat-trick, trying to turn inside the penalty area. Mehmet just about gets the ball off him.
I think it might have been more of a tactical situation. Del Bosque was talking to Iniesta, but that's exactly what you're talking about. That's why he hasn't got the Ballon d'Or. Doesn't score that many goals, doesn't make many tackles, doesn't make many assists, but take him out of your team and he leaves this cavernous, huge hole in the middle of the pitch, and suddenly it just doesn't work.
Mehmet, Turkish centre-back on the ball, plays it back to his goalkeeper Volkan, and now out to the right-hand side, and Ozan Tufan. Spain 3, Turkey 0. If you have just tuned in, 2 goals for Morata, 1 for Nolito. Sensational performance from Spain. Took them about half an hour to break Turkey down. Scored 2 quick goals. Wonderful goal at the start of this second half, where Jordi Alba might have just been offside. I think it was offside actually, but the move was absolutely brilliant, and we're just waiting to see if we're going to see any more magic from the European champions. Jordi Alba with defending to do, comes hurtling back towards the byline, hooks the ball away and out for a throw into Turkey on the right hand side. Belgium, Republic of Ireland kicks off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Iceland, Hungary at 5. Portugal, Austria is our 8 o'clock offering for you. Alan Green and Neil Lennon at that one at the Parc des Princes. Thierry Henry will be a special 5 Live guest. We'll get his thoughts on the tournament so far. And here comes Spain again. It'd be very interesting to see what he has to say about Spain's performance tonight and what France could possibly do about it were they to meet them later in the tournament. Here's Iniesta. Iniesta to Jordi Alba. Morata looked to come short there, but went back to Iniesta. Spain just walking now. They've got the ball inside the Turkey half, and Turkey players not really rushing to close them down. So we're at a little bit of a stalemate here as Ramos plays it to Fabregas, but then suddenly they can pick the pace up like that. Fabregas to Iniesta. Iniesta on the left-hand side, shifts the ball from left foot to right foot and finds Fabregas. Fabregas to Juan Fran, to Busquets. Onto the right-hand side, and this is Bruno. Bruno outside the area, left-footed drive. Volkan saves, behind for the corner.
Bounced awkwardly just in front of the goalkeeper. Didn't quite catch it as cleanly as he would have hoped. Might have just drifted wide, but goalkeeper couldn't be sure. Got down well to his left-hand side and just palmed it around for the corner. But you just feel if Spain, if they really wanted to go and score or create more chances, they could do at any moment.
Iniesta's received the ball from Fabregas, curling cross to the far post. They're all up. Piqué controls it, shoots, and it's saved at the near post by Volkan. There may have been a push in there because the referee I saw saying wave play on.
Handball, I think.
Was it? Right.
Yeah, Piqué. Well, it's great skill. Trapped it between his hand and his thigh.
Yeah.
Almost caught it at the back post.
If you want to see this Spain performance and the Spain goals, by the way, and I highly recommend you do, 11:25 BBC One tonight. Highlights of all the games. And what are we now? We're coming up to 10:30 local. So in about half an hour in the UK over on 5 Live Sports Extra. If you're a golf fan, full commentary on the US Open golf closing stages of the second day's play, and that is over on 5 Live Sports Extra.
Just the boos you can hear for Arda Turan, the Turkey captain, getting booed by his own fans now every time he touches the ball.
Spain are going to make another change. I think Koke is coming on. He is the Sevilla midfielder, as Turkey have lost it just inside the Spain half. Morata ran with it and was then pulled to the ground by Nuri Sahin, so he wins the free kick. So here comes the second change for Spain. In fact, we're going to get a Turkish change first, and this is Yunus Mali coming on in place of Selçuk. So midfielder for midfielder. Turkey on the wrong end of things tonight. 20 minutes to play, and Cesc Fabregas now will slowly make his way, and I imagine, Danny, quite reluctantly as well, because when your team's playing as well as this and it's so much fun to be out there, you probably don't want to come off. So Koke will come on for Cesc Fabregas, who applauds the Spain fans, and he in turn gets a standing ovation. He's been part of something very special so far this evening, Danny.
He has indeed. I think he's been taken off because he's got those ridiculous boots on. Pink on one, yellow on the other. I don't mind coloured boots, but come on, that's gone a little bit too far, surely.
PK.
You wouldn't go out in different coloured shoes, would you?
I think the kids of today, Danny.
I'm no fashion guru.
I wouldn't.
But I don't often see kids wearing different coloured trainers in the street or whatever.
Might be the thing, you never know. Might be the next big thing. Burak playing the ball back here into midfield. It's hoiked forward, and David De Gea leaps. David De Gea has been a spectator tonight. I'm sure it's been enjoyable to watch, but
is this half the reason why he keeps so many clean sheets for Spain?
Yes.
He doesn't have that many shots to save, does he?
No, their defence. I mean, that's the other thing about them, their defensive record.
But they defend so well, like Guillaume Balaguer said, because they keep the ball.
Yeah.
The opposition simply do not have it. Not a huge number of stats. I think over 60% possession.
Feels like more tonight, actually.
It does indeed.
Yeah. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Ball is played up here to Morata. Morata to Nolito. Nolito back to Iniesta. Here we go again. Iniesta, the little magician, flicks the ball back to Bruno. Bruno to Busquets. Back to Bruno again. He's forced backwards to Busquets again. And now Ramos, just inside the Turkey half. Spain looking to exploit any little weakness, any little space in this Turkish defence. It's BBC Radio 5 Live, your Euro 2016 station. And we've been watching something quite special tonight from Spain. They lead Turkey 3-0. Iniesta's dwelt on the ball there, and he's been tackled. So let's admonish him just the once, and the ball goes out for a Turkey throw, right-hand side, about 10 yards short of the halfway line. Guillaume Balaguer back in the Paris studio. So Spain going through to the last 16 game. What do you think that Vicente Del Bosque will do with the team for the last game against Croatia?
If you decide to replace 11 players, it's 8 days not playing for some of these guys, and that may not be a great decision, I think. But there will be changes. Iniesta has been rested during the season by Luis Enrique. Perhaps he will be one. Silva perhaps two. And Cesc, who you could see in his face that he always feels like it's always me. Why is it always me? But he got replaced, and he may just also be substituted in the next game with Koke.
What I'm sorry, Guillaume. I'm jumping in because Iniesta, with a wonderful bit of skill, turned away in midfield. Nuri Sahin came flying in and caught him, and he's picked himself up. He's okay, but Danny, he was just too quick, too good. Yeah, he was. Great little turn on the outside of his foot, and he saw the challenge coming, and just as it came in, he just jumped, which means that his feet weren't planted in the ground, and he was able to ride the challenge and got up straight away. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Just over 15 minutes to play. Jordi Alba, first time ball into Nolito. Nolito with a little flick up in the air. Challenge comes in from Mehmet. Here's another stat for you as the ball is headed forward to the edge of the box. Morata pushes the pass to Juan Fran on the right. Plenty of Spain players waiting for a cross. Juan Fran curls one in to the far post over everyone and away. Gerard Piqué was the only outfield player not to touch the ball in the build-up to the third goal. Poor old Gerard. And he did so well in the first half, playing centre forward at times, making breaks forward. No, it's been that kind of show from Spain tonight, and we've been really enjoying it on 5 Live. Left-hand side, Caner for Turkey. Back to Nuri Sahin, who's had a terrible time with knee injuries over the last couple of seasons. Had that time on loan at Liverpool, playing his football. And now back at Dortmund, left-hand side for Turkey. The cross comes in only just ahead of Burak, who would have had a free header. Now a cross from the right from Gökhan, which is way over hit. That is dreadful. I mean, that's another point that actually needs to be made, Danny. Spain have been brilliant. Turkey have been pretty rotten, haven't they? They have, especially in the attacking third, when they've got into that dangerous area. Their final ball, when they have decided what they're going to do with it, and that's been a big problem, the indecision.
when they have put the ball in, had a shot, put a cross in, absolutely woeful.
15 minutes remaining, 21 passes in the build-up to the third goal. You see Turkey will turn around and say, well, he was offside, so it doesn't count. But I think we just tip our hats to Spain and the football they've been playing. And their fans now are really going at it, on their feet, flags waving, songs being sung. There's a wonderful moment as we had lunch today in Nice, wasn't there? There was a group of about 15 Spain fans that came through with instruments, being applauded actually down the main pedestrian area of Nice, singing Viva España. And it was great, wasn't it? There was fans from all other nations just letting them just sort of march slowly through, proudly singing their song and supporting their team.
Well, they were in full fancy dress, weren't they? You know,
yeah.
Bullfighting outfits and all sorts. They had a huge stereo speaker on a little mini wagon that they were pushing through. They all looked, let's say, elderly, elder statesmen, weren't they? They weren't young guys, but they were singing it. And you're right, everybody in the little bars and cafes where we were sat, everybody just joined in, and it was a real, after all the troubles that we'd had, it was great to see, you know, everybody suddenly coming together again.
Spain 3, Turkey 0. Last 15 minutes of our third commentary game today for you on 5 Live. 3 more to come tomorrow. 2 o'clock, Belgium, Republic of Ireland in Bordeaux. John Murray and Mark Lawrenson with that one. Iceland, Hungary at 5 o'clock. And Portugal, Austria at 8 o'clock kick-off UK time. With Alan Green and Neil Lennon. Thierry Henry is 5 Live's special guest for that one as well. That'll be well worth a listen. That's also on BBC One, so again you can watch television pictures, push the red button, and you can get our commentary as well. Turkey building play inside the Spain half. It's fired forward here to the edge of the area to Shahan. He can't control it. Bruno's there, and Bruno keeps it in play but gives it away. Cross comes in, Ramos clears it, and here's Danny Mills.
Guillaume, we've run out of stories, so we're going to ask you about Spain's defence. You know, why have they been so good? Because some of their players, they're all very, very good on the ball, and I thought they would miss, obviously their great old defender when he left, but it doesn't seem to have been the case.
No, Sergio Ramos is rushed sometimes, and he's the most targeted player, centre-back has had more red cards in the history of La Liga. Because he's physically so strong, he thinks he can do everything, anticipate and beat the centre-forwards and so on, but he's a very good defender, and so is Piqué. There's been a lot of tension in their relationship recently, but that was cured by a long coffee and conversation earlier in this tournament. But you said it earlier, it's about keeping the ball. You keep the ball, the other guys don't have it, and that means we have not conceded a goal in 10 official games, and De Gea has still not conceded a goal as a Spain goalkeeper. So,
do you know how many shots he's faced, though?
Go on.
I don't know. That's what I was asking you.
3.
You're the Spanish football expert, not me.
Koke with the ball through here for Juan Fran, who goes chasing onto it, but it's just too far, and Volcan comes in. And just while Danny and Guillaume were talking there, we had a Mexican wave going around the ground that the Spanish fans started, and when it reached the Turkish fans away to our right hand side, they went up with it. Here it goes again, comes rippling round the stadium. So many red shirts inside this stadium, it looks great, but the Spanish fans then gave the Turkish fans a standing ovation for joining in, because their team is getting absolutely walloped tonight. Spain leading Turkey by 3-0, and the third goal was quite something. Highlights BBC One, 11:25. You'll also see Italy beat Sweden with a late goal by 1-0. Czech Republic 2, Croatia 2. Unfortunately, the headlines from that game about crowd disturbances, flares thrown onto the pitch and fighting in the stands. Nolito with a right-footed ball towards Gerard Piqué. Piqué chests it down. We've got a real party atmosphere now here in the Stade de Nice. The Turkish fans accept the game's gone, and I think actually they will walk away, Danny, tonight and think, do you know what? One of those I was there moments, seeing Spain play like that.
Well, exactly. I don't think there'll be any animosity between these two sets of fans whatsoever. Spain have clearly been the better side, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, when we go back and find ourselves walking past all the bars, that obviously all the fans, you know, will just be enjoying themselves together, which is exactly what we want to see.
Iniesta, diagonal ball out to the left-hand side to Jordi Alba. Spain 3, Turkey 0. BBC Radio 5 Live, 12 minutes remaining in the second half. Playing like this, Guillem, Spain favourites to win the Euros?
Yeah, the fear was in qualifiers we saw a very slow Spain, building up from the back very slowly, teams being very, very deep, and I wonder how they will get here, considering that the Spanish teams did so well in European tournaments, but they seem fresh. The players won the ball back, as you were saying earlier as well. They just hound the ball back. They're still 3 up, but they won the ball. And it's this idea that you touched on. As a kid, when you play football, you won the ball. And it's been put in the heads of the Spanish players, well, if you want the ball, but just get it back and keep it. That's how you entertain yourself and you entertain the public.
Shahan for Turkey on the right-hand side, and Spain will be desperate to keep this clean sheet record going as well. Just to add to what Guillem was saying, as Piqué clears here from in front of David De Gea, after this game, in terms of European Championship football, it will be almost 700 minutes of football without conceding a goal. So the last one was in Euro 2012 in the 1-1 draw in the first group game when Antonio Di Natale scored. Since then, they finished that game against Italy, played the Republic of Ireland, Croatia, France, Portugal, Italy in the final, Czech Republic here, and now Turkey tonight, and no one's been able to break through. Substitution here, Jordi Alba is coming off. And coming on is a fellow that a lot of our listeners will know well from our Premier League coverage on 5 Live, Cesar Azpilicueta, the Chelsea full-back, comes on at left-back, number 2 on his back, 10 minutes remaining. Just hoping we might get one more Spanish move, Spanish goal, just to finish the night and leave the stadium with a real blow. Spain 3, Turkey 0. And here's Nolito, and maybe it's going to come now, looking for Morata. No, it's too far ahead of him. And then, Danny, tomorrow it's kiss and fly, isn't it, as you told me?
Yeah, it is. Dropped off at Nice Airport. Kiss and fly. It's a great one, isn't it, at the airport? I'll be very, very sad. This is very, very British, I must say, to leave this glorious weather that we've had today. I've been in Paris for a while. It's been a little bit rainy, drizzly, some thunderstorms, some really torrential downpours. Arrived in Nice today, just for literally 24 hours, or yesterday, 24 hours. And it was just glorious, beautiful sunshine and that incredibly fantastic blue sea.
Spain 3, Turkey 0. Well, that's classic from Turkey tonight because they've taken the corner short. Janet has wandered offside and the cross has come into the box. Just to explain kiss and fly, it's the drop-off area at Nice Airport. So where you get a really boring sign at Heathrow or Gatwick where it would just say drop-off, you can only park for 5 minutes. In Nice, it says kiss and fly, which is great. I just think that's great. 9 minutes remaining in this game. Spain have been better than great tonight. Spain lead Turkey by 3-0. We had the Kiss cam actually up at half-time on the big screens around the stadium, where the cameras pick out people in the crowds, and on the big screen their faces are pictured in a big heart shape, and then they have to kiss. And it didn't fall on us, Danny and I.
You sound disappointed, Ali.
I am not. Throw in for Turkey, right-hand side. Spain's last group game will be against Croatia. Turkey will play against the Czech Republic. Be interesting to see how they pick themselves up from this one. And Guillem, just watching from our studio in Paris, in terms of sort of the reaction to this result and performance in Spain in the Spanish press, I imagine it'll be waxing lyrical.
No doubt that this is going to take us to we definitely winning the European Championships. There's no doubt that it's very easy to get enthusiastic about it. But I think, and you pointed it out a few times, Turkey are not disciplined. Turkey is making us look really, really good. They don't defend well. There is divisions in the side. The fans are not with some of the players. Some of the key players haven't been at their best. Perhaps a better measure of how difficult it's going to be if we're going to go far is what the Czech Republic did with us. We didn't create much. The goal had to come at the end. The one who had more shots on goal was Sergio Ramos. And the second one was Morata and then Piqué. So it wasn't as fluid as this. They have made us look better. And next game, Croatia should look after Iniesta. You stop Iniesta and you make life difficult for Spain. Yeah,
if everyone plays, I mean, if the top players go against each other, that is going to be a really good midfield battle with the likes of Modric and Rakitic, both of whom, of course, play their football in Spain. Rakitic, a teammate of Andres Iniesta, could be a real treat. Wait and see what the two managers do with team selection. We have 7 minutes plus added time remaining. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Spain not exerting themselves. Turkey aren't either. They've got a massive game coming up in the last group game against the Czech Republic.
You have to remember, though, Alec, that Spain won't want to lose that game. You know, they won't want to take too many risks. As, you know, they will still want to finish top of the group. That's still very, very important, especially with a lot of groups that you get. Obviously, you know, you end up playing the third place team.
And I think that's, do you know what, that's the one thing I haven't written down tonight. If Spain win the group, I presume they play a third place from one of the three other potential groups. You're just going to have a little look for me on your
keep talking.
That's my job.
And I'll do my best.
That's my job. Spain 3, Turkey 0. Azpilicueta down the left-hand side is tackled, and the throw-in goes Turkey's way. Gökhan, the right-back, is still showing some sort of urgency. If Turkey turn this round and score 3 goals in the last 5 minutes, then I will... ... fill in the blanks. I don't know. It is just so unlikely.
I think Spain would end up playing probably third place in Republic of Ireland's group.
Something like that.
That could be the Republic of Ireland.
It could be, yeah.
But there's a couple of permutations, isn't it? Because the way it works with third teams going through, because we don't know who those third teams are going to be. It could be an either or.
Yeah. But the point is, win the group, and you should get yourself an easier game. Free kick for Turkey, foul from Busquets. 5 minutes remaining. Spain 3, Turkey 0. 2 for Morata, 1 for Nolito, and this free kick is about 30 yards away from goal.
Well, put it this way, if you finish second in the group, there's every chance that you could end up facing Belgium or Italy.
Okay.
So you don't want to do that.
You want to win the group. Janez, ball into the edge of the area, headed away by Morata. Arda Turan still getting booed by the Turkish fans and whistled as he plays the ball into the Spanish penalty area. It's headed away. Mehmet looks for the 1-2. Another offside goes up against Turkey, and the ball goes behind. If you've missed any of Euro 2016 today, from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on the BBC iPlayer is the Euro 2016 catch-up service, and of course well worth getting the BBC Sport app as well if you haven't already, and you can get goal alerts on there as well, so your phone would have been buzzing tonight for 3 for Spain. Spain 3, Turkey 0. 4 minutes remaining in the game. David De Gea has just got his right foot on top of the ball here for a few seconds before he whacks it down the middle of the pitch, and Nolito almost got onto the back header from Mehmet, but there was enough power on it, and it has come through to Volkan. And Turkey have the ball just inside their own half. Couple of whistles. The Turkish fans have got booed now, whistling the captain, but they might even get through here, and Şahan is through 1-on-1, and they can't score. Can they? No, he's dragged the shot wide. He got a second go at. Azpilicueta blocked it, and then he hooked the second effort wide.
Well, I thought David De Gea was going to have to make his first save of the night through 1-on-1. Don't know why he hesitated, and then his shot was awful. It was an outside of the foot toe punt, effectively. Was going well wide and hit Azpilicueta. Complete lack of confidence from him running through there. Really poor finish, and that's been Turkey all night long. Yeah,
shocking night for Turkey. They've been very poor, and Spain have ripped them to pieces, and they're coming again. Iniesta on the dribble. Nuri Sahin just got a foot in on the tackle. Iniesta touches it to Nolito. Iniesta gets it back from Koke. Then played back out to the left to Koke again from Morata. Don't know if you can hear, but the band has started up. Away in the Spanish fans away to our left-hand side. Nolito just trying to flick one around the corner for... Well, it's Juan Fran who's popped up as centre-forward now. So he's taken over from Piqué in that position. Here is Piqué on the halfway line with an interception. Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, trying right till the end there. The ball was running out of play for a throw, and Piqué threw himself at it and hooked it into play with his right foot, and Spain keep the ball. 2 minutes plus added time. Nolito lets it run through his legs. Are we going to get the grandstand finish? Nolito, 1-2 with Koke. Nolito into the penalty area, right foot, lays it back, and the shot from Bruno is over the bar, and he can't quite add the icing on the cake. Danny Mills.
Bruno had a decent shot earlier, but this time he's just leaning back a little bit. Doesn't get his chest over the ball. Just follows through way up high into the air. Disappointing finish after a good move again.
Spain 3, Turkey 0. Coming to the end of the game here on 5 Live. Azpilicueta on the ball for Spain in the left back position. Plays it up the left hand touchline to Nolito. Back to Iniesta, who has been brilliant again. But when isn't he? Here's Bruno on as a second half substitute to Iniesta. Iniesta tickles a pass out to Piqué. Piqué wide to Juan Fran. Koke making a run for him in the inside right position. Plays it back to Piqué. Piqué back to De Gea. And my stopwatch tells me we're in the 90th minute of the game. And I think if the officials have some sympathy for Turkey, I don't think we're going to have too much added time. And I don't think there is too much to add on in the second half anyway. So can Spain finish the performance with a goal? Nolito on the left. 3 defenders in front of him. Lays it back to Koke. Koke to Azpilicueta. Spain are coming backwards towards the halfway line. Bruno's closed down. He's lost it. Ramos in there. Knocks it out of play for a Turkish throw right hand side. Just inside their own half. Guillem Balaguer has been watching the second half, watching the whole game with us actually in our Paris studio. In terms of Spanish performances to rank it alongside, Guillem, I mean, I know this is only a group game and they've played in far more important games. Will this be the best Spain have played for quite some while?
Since perhaps when we beat Italy in 2012 in the European Championship final. That was a fantastic display at all levels, defensively, offensively. Then of course came the qualifiers for the World Cup, nothing to call home for, and then the Brazil, which was a disaster. So since then, 2012, yeah, definitely.
In fact, you know, that is sometimes easy to forget. 2 years ago, Spain had a nightmare at the World Cup, beaten 5-1 by Holland in the opening game, 2-0 by Chile, first team to be knocked out of the tournament. Here they are, European champions, and they are right back on track. 90 seconds remaining, just 2 minutes of added time. Turkey on the ball, Spain strolling. Don't really need to do anything here. Turkey are strolling as well. And here's Arda Turan, who's still getting a few jeers and whistles. Plays it wide to Janer, gets across into the area, over Burak's head, up towards Morata, back heel on the volley. Pass doesn't quite find Nolito. Iniesta trying to close things down in the centre circle. Turkey have the ball back again. And just 1 minute left for the Turkish players of a very painful night indeed. Long ball floated forward to Burak, who chests it down. Piqué's behind him. Almost 700 minutes now in European Championship football that Spain haven't conceded a goal. This will be 10 competitive internationals without conceding a goal, and they've stuck 3 in of their own as well. Arda Turan, ball into the edge of the area. David De Gea comes to collect, and Sergio Ramos just makes sure that no one can get a challenge on his keeper. 30 seconds to play. Danny, it's been a great watch, hasn't it? I mean, up until Spain scored the third, it's gone a bit quiet since then, but
it really has. Turkey, yes, they've been poor, but Spain were exceptional in the first half. They were bright, they were sharp, they were right at it, clearly wanted to win the game early on, and that's exactly what they've done. They've given Turkey an absolute footballing lesson.
You can only stand and applaud Spain after a performance like that. The European champions are in business at Euro 2016. They're into the last 16. They were quite scintillating in Nice. Alvaro Morata scored 2, Nolito scored 1. After Morata got the third, Spain took their foot off the pedal. That third goal, you simply have to see. 11:25 BBC One. 21 passes. Gerard Piqué, the only outfield player not involved. Yes, Jordi Alba might have strayed offside, but it was teamwork and football at its very, very best. Brilliant from Spain tonight. It's finished Spain 3, Turkey 0.